Hello, we're back with Brandon, one of the traders on the desk, and today we wanted to share a best practice, talk through it a little bit, backtesting. Brandon, I know that you've kind of worked hard to develop some skills in order to backtest some ideas, some things that you found interesting, and we want to talk about one example today, and I know you actually covered it in a playbook checkup with Bella, but wanted to be give you a little different view on it as well. So help us understand kind of what you do when you backtest and how you come up with an idea, and then we'll talk about the specifics of the execution as well in this.
I have incorporated backtesting into my trading process. It's a big part of my trading process. I just found that I love using technology. I'm good with Excel. It's something that I've learned throughout school. And I decided, if I can have an edge with it within trading, then why not incorporate it?
And what I love about this, just to jump in, is you and I have talked about it a handful of times, and I've talked with other interns as well, is, you're doing something that naturally you like, and then you're letting that be a layer of edge or a layer of a check in your favor for your trading. So, you mentioned you're good with Excel, which is great. Maybe not everybody's great with Excel, but you still are leaning into a strength of yours and then bringing that into your trading. And so for anybody that has a strength that's maybe outside of reading charts or anything like that, but any sort of strength, you can really find a way to lean into that to add a check in your favor with your trading.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly how it is. There are other things that I'm not as good at, and I stay away from that, but back testing and whatnot like that, I've showed some edge in, so I continue to do so. So going into back testing, there's sort of a process that I follow, and one of those is looking for abnormal price action. So that's definitely the most important thing. It's at the end of each day and in the pre-market session, either looking for very abnormal price action from the previous day or over a multi-day basis that I can back test and generate a hypothesis off of. Another thing to keep in mind is when backtesting, and actually this is something that I've heard from Dr. S, is instead of backtesting certain hypotheses, you want to generate hypotheses. So it's very important to go into a backtest with an open mind and backtest the data you have and simply trade the edge that's there. You don't want to go into it with either a long or short bias. You just generate a hypothesis based off of the data that you get. So that's also very important.
And that's really what we wanted to talk about today is executing off of the hypothesis that was generated from your backtest. And so if we can jump forward to your executions within this trade, to set the context, you had backtested an unusual price action move in Snap, I believe, right?
Yep.
And so the data told you to lean which way, long or short?
To the short side.
Short side. So you're coming into the day, you've set the context of there's a higher probability, there's a check in my favor that I might have a shorting opportunity in Snap today. If you've seen any of the other best practices videos with Brandon or any of our traders, you might know that a lot of times when they do a best practice, they actually write in the visualization the night before of if I get this price action, I'll take this trade. Were you able to do something similar on this trade or no?
I was able to do it similar in a way. I knew what I wanted to look for, but I didn't know the price levels I wanted to trade it at. So for example, I was going into the day, after creating an if-then statement the previous night, I wanted to go into the day and I wanted to look for areas where buyers may start to get exhausted and sellers may start to step in. I didn't know which levels those were going to be, so that's what I had to adapt to going into the day, but I knew sort of the general idea I wanted to have.
So we'll go into your execution, and I really like this because I think you executed it very, very well. Not all of them are going to be this pretty. I know you and I have been in trades that we've backtested. We know we have edge in, and they've gone completely against us the wrong way, and that's okay. That's a part of where your risk management and trade execution comes in. Why I love this example and why I'm excited about talking through it with you today is I think we can do better in your executions. I really think we can push you next time when you get this same sort of setup where you found edge to the short side. You don't know the levels entirely, but exactly like you said, you're aware of looking for moments where buyers get exhausted and then what that might lead to. So let's go through your first execution on this trade.
Yeah, so going into the day, so Snap ended up putting in a high close to off the open around 2650, and I wanted to watch the 2640 area for a potential move up there, and then to see if we can get depreciating volume with buyers stalling out and stalling out on the tape where sellers may start to step in. So I got short at 2640, risking 2650, which was high of day. Once I saw a heavy tape near high of day and an aggressive seller that continued to step in and hit the bid.
So you had a great first entry. That's awesome. You did all the work leading up to that to get a good first entry. Now I want to talk about what happens next and how we can get better. So you obviously get your first covers. It looks like a VWAP.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, perfect. And then you get sort of a move to the bottom of the range, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're covering in 10% increments all the way down. Great. Do you think there's an opportunity to add on the range break to the downside?
Coming in shortly after 10 a.m. over here.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there was, and this is something that I looked back at and I realized I could have done better at, and it's something that I really put emphasis on now. When we pushed up here and we rejected VWAP almost perfectly here, I definitely think that would have been an area to add some size, and I could have even added some more size on the breakdown here. We did see a speed in the tape as well, so that would have been added confirmation.
And so those are like little things. You know, you're trading with edge to begin with. You've back tested a strategy to give you a check in your favor. You've come in and you've made the first execution really well. You have to be feeling pretty good about everything right now. And sometimes when you're feeling pretty good, it's tough to do the right thing, which is just add. And so that's why it's really awesome that we get to cover this today and that you've seen that evolution in your trading already. And I really hope that everybody that's watching kind of understands that if you layer on these edges and kind of put yourself in a really good position, that's only the first step. And then you can still get better and better and better from there. So I'm glad we could go through this example today. I'm glad we could talk about what backtesting can do for your trading. And I really like, Brandon, that you and I could talk honestly and openly about how we underperformed in this trade in reality, even though we had so many checks in our favor. So I look forward to taking this trade again, not this specific trade, but having this set up again, using some edge, and then executing a little bit better next time when we see it.
Hey, go ahead and click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos that we're producing for you in the trading community. And please take the time to add your feedback in the comments section for what videos you'd like for us to produce next and what you found helpful from this video. From all of us at SMB, train and trade well.